I'm going to have to mute because, the children in the background, okay?
Okay. Very good.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Tom.
Hi, Tom. This is Teresa.
How you doing?
Not bad. Hanging in there. Amazing. I listened to the audio. Very, very amazing.
You like that, huh?
Oh, it's so cool. 3 strikes and you're out. Very cool. I'm very happy for Patrick, and his voice sounded so calm. It's great. Nice to hear that tone.
Good.
All right, I'll mute out.
That was earlier. That was earlier today. I'm wondering if he has any new developments after that.
Oh, well, we'll find out. But I've been reading the document and the words, the meaning, and it's a simple 2-pager. Love it.
Yeah, yes, it is. And I like the zingers at the bottom.
Okay, then I take it you're going to volunteer to read it aloud to the people tonight. Okay?
I'll read part of it if everybody chips in.
No, you're going to read the whole thing.
I can't read the whole thing. If I have to make dinner, I'll be making noise and stuff.
You'll be making noises.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll let you make a few noises.
Oh, come on. We all can take a paragraph.
No.
Yes.
No, you can read the whole thing. It's not that long. Come on.
No, it's 10 minutes.
Well, remember, I'm not fluent in English.
You do fine.
I'm just fluent in
or is there any other
American.
woman out there that wants to read it?
I'll read some, but I want to share it with other people. I don't want to hog it up.
No, you're not. I want somebody to read it aloud on the audio, okay, first off.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, we're going to go back to school here, and basically we're going to have it being read aloud so that now people can hear it being read to them.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm not going to be the one, since I'm the teacher, I'm not going to be the one to do the reading.
All right, let's get someone with a really good voice and who can read
it sounds like you got a good voice, and I can hear you very distinctly, so I nominate you.
All right, Patrick.
Okay.
I'll come back and get you later.
Huh?
You win.
I'll come back and get him later. Don't you want a man's voice? It's so much deeper.
No, I don't want a man's voice. I want a nice, calm woman's voice.
All right, so we'll wait a few minutes?
Yeah, we'll wait a few minutes until, see how many more people get on here. How many you got on now, Tom?
10.
Okay. So what, Chris posted that audio that I did with him earlier?
Yes, and I posted it in the Skype group, and some people have listened to it.
Chris on?
No, I don't see him on.
And he said he's going to try to get on, and then he's going to bring on some other people, too.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
I mean, this has to start spreading out here, okay?
Will do. Exactly.
I mean, you got other people you know, get them involved into this. Tell them, here's the damn story of Jesus. I don't know how I can make this any more realistic than what I've done. I've walked right in his footsteps the whole damn time.
Amen.
I've circulated the cease and desist and that Chris's calls to several people today.
Okay.
I have a question at the bottom in the CC list. You have the Iowa 6th Judicial Court.
8.
And I'm sorry. Yeah,
court.
mine is the 6th. Yours is the 8th. But in Googling around, I don't see any judicial courts. Am I looking for the wrong?
Your county, your district court, your state county courts, or your federal. One
right.
at the federal level and one's at the state level. So basically, just go to whatever court is in the county.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'll go to the main.
And the county prosecutor that you're living in, okay? Put them on notice.
Oh, okay. That's what this is.
That's
notice.
what you're doing. You're putting them on notice. You can even put this in the newspaper if you want to.
I like that idea.
They're right down there.
Yeah, it's an official cease and disorder. And you can publish this, and that's what the instructions on the first one that I had posted up there, the guy said that this can be done anywhere and basically send it out to everybody.
Okay.
This has been the people's remedy all along. You have the administrative agency capacity in this regard. You are a functionary in the administrative agency. I put those definitions up on the site there when I posted this. For the cease and disorder, cease, to stop, to discontinue, to go out of existence. It also means to be dead. Cease and desist order, an order by an administrative agency. And then you look up what it says about administrative agency. And then you'll see that it talks about a functionary. A public officer. And basically that is you. You have administrative capability, executive administrative capability as a public officer, as a functionary. You're the one that is in control, not these damn legalese, law courts of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how many we got on there now?
Still 10.
Still no Chris?
No, Chris. No, Chris. He said several times before that he would be on, but then he didn't make it on a couple of times. He said he had equipment problems. Should I try to contact him on Skype?
Well, why don't you contact him and see if he's going to come on, if he's bringing anybody else with him.
I will do that. Just a second here.
Welcome back. We were you at. What?
The Magic Jack customer you have...
You want me to reset it so you have a new call?
You hit learn more, and then it comes up here. That's what the conference calls are on? This is what the conference calls are on. You hit learn more. Oh, come here. Oh. That took me a couple minutes to figure out how to do it. Because it said here, it said, connect calls from your computer, go to this, learn more, select this number, and hit that in your name. Why didn't it go under our name?
Yes, Patrick, he wasn't available on Skype or on his phone.
The Magic Jack customer you have called is unavailable to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
That's Chris's phone is answering there. But he wasn't available on Skype or on his phone.
You got a lot of static coming in, Tom.
Can you hear me all right?
Well, with all the static in the background.
Huh. I'll reconnect on the phone. Yeah, maybe I got a bad connection with my phone.
Yeah. Expo said they're getting lots and lots of confirmations and lots of good news, so this thing can just go.
Okay, somebody else has got a lot of background noise coming in there. Mute yourself out, please. *6.
Well, we're on a computer, so making that noise. We don't have a, what do you call those microphones? No?
Is this any better?
Well, we still got somebody who's coming in there with a lot of static.
Okay. I'm not hearing it, but I see one sound bar here. Kay Lee, I'm going to mute you. Did that take care of it?
I mean, listen for a bit. Yeah, it sounds like it might have gotten it.
Okay.
Okay, how many we got on there now?
11.
Okay, what'd Chris say? Is he coming on, bringing anybody with him, or what?
No, neither his Skype nor his phone answered.
Oh, okay.
I left him a text message on Skype.
Okay, where's our reader?
I'm here, Patrick.
Okay.
I have to
Okay,
start.
we're going to have a reading of the cease and desist, notice and order, Rev 2. Okay, go for it.
Okay, do I start from the beginning?
Yes.
Cease and desist, notice and order. Patrick Devine and Patrick Paul Devine. Alienation, venture of trust. The effective and enforcement date start upon electronic delivery confirmation. 2. Office of the Alien Property Custodian. Care of U.S. Trustee, parentheses, front door, / U.S. Secret Service, parentheses, back door. Then dated. First paragraph. I am Mr. Patrick, semicolon, of the family Divine, comma, a free man of age by my recorded American birthing and by my will to live the lawful American invested grantor / bailer, period. Second paragraph. but by deceptively unrecorded non-nuncipative wills, parentheses, as contracts, my American bailment assets were placed into the uppercase Patrick Devine dash unilateral alienation purgatory spendthrift trust semicolon as a subversive usurpation schemes to defraud first because of age for the deceptive state of Iowa, enticement and inducement of my prodigal employee to become an alien and required to be registered for the Alien Registration Certification of Live Birth. And secondly, because of the commercial insurance alienation, document known as the Social Security card and transmitting account number, which has been used as the authorization for commercial commerce alienation, usage of my entrusted American bailment assets, a second subversive usurpation scheme to defraud, set up a unilateral alienation purgatory spendthrift trust using the deceptive volunteering state of Iowa, selective service, alien registration, and the military DD 214 discharge certificate. Should I keep going?
Oh, this is Jan is a fan of yours?
Third paragraph. I am of age as a United States of America elector is seated.
Mute them out, Tom. Stop.
Yeah, I'll mute them out.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay, go ahead with that paragraph again.
I am of age as a United States of America elector, exceeded administrative functionary, public officer, and testamentary arbitrator with the authority to issue this cease and desist notice and order per the will and laws of America. Fourth paragraph. I have been advised of your dulocracy, by a government by slaves, commercial insurance, commerce alienation, usage of my American bailment assets by way of the alienation, commercial insurance, deceptive instruments claiming to be beneficial benefits, license, certificates of title, and all other commercial alienation instruments, pursuant to the Securities Act 1933 and other statutes, such containing usages of commercial insurance commerce, is an unjust and destructive usury harming both American and the American people. Therefore, continued commercial insurance commerce usury is an alienation and unlawful per 1885 case law in regards to just American commerce of exchange. And then you have a box here that has the Latin and the translation. You want me to read the Latin too?
No, just read the translations.
Okay. All men are either free men or slaves. And the Latin. The second one is civil law. All are free to renounce those things which have been allowed for their benefit. See Brown's Legal Maxims 699. The third one, every will or testament is consummated or completed by death. Page 2 now. I have ordered by reservation of wills that my prodigal Bailey are to cease, to stop, to be discontinued, and to go out of existence. be dead, and the Latin word. Therefore, the alienation spendthrift trust as enforceable trust under alien treaty laws are to be liquidated and with the return of my effect to me as the American bailer. This action is also addressed for the alien treaty. I am inputting an estoppel in pais, P-A-I-S, demanding an inquest of office and accounting of the public bailiff. The U.S./Iowa alien property custodian. Next paragraph. Accordingly, you as American public employees, parentheses, volunteers, governmental, commercial slaves, are here and now notified and ordered to cease all alienation, commercial insurance, usage of my American entrusted bailments held in my 2 alienation spendthrift trusts, and 2, desist from any further harming usage of me, the living American, as commercial alienation contractual insurance collateral for your fraudulent, governmental, commercially insured charges and bonds. This notice and order is also under the notice to principal/notice to agent, rule of law. You are ordered to provide a complete proffered accounting and make arrangements to deliver the American bailment trust assets, including the American assets held under the foreign CINS SINS number in foreign offshore accounts. The SINS number is on the back of the presently issued Social Security card. Parentheses, CUSIP, CUSIP, International Numbering System, parentheses, brackets, CINS numbers, and then within 72 hours. Next sentence. As I am the testamentary arbitrator, I am invested with the American quasi-judicial power to decide, to finalize, and without appeal, all matters that may be in dispute by any of the public in bondage slaves per their alien liability and office commercial insurance license or policy. Therefore, this is an enforceable trust order, and it stands as a finalized will for the American alien treaties and laws of both the New and Old Testaments as the universal inherited wills of the planet Earth. Next one. The American nunciative will and statutes provides for substantial statutory damages, harm, and other remedies for any further alienations, infringements of American securities. Should you require any additional information, such as what the word usage really means or the alienation account numbers, you may contact me in honor, either directly, by phone, or in writing within 3 days. You, too, can once again be a truly free American operating in just American commerce and exchange for the American laws. Just destroy your commercial insurance virus acquirit in undo and return in peace to the original matrix, the United States of America Constitution. Yours very truly, in peace and love, for my faithful pledge to the real America. Administratively, to functionary.
That's good enough.
Blah,
okay?
blah, blah. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now, there, you've got it in audio of what the thing says. You can listen to it, and she did a good job of reading it there, so I thank her. Now, we'll go through a couple things here. And basically, this has been in the movies, okay? This was right out of the story of Jesus, okay, his life. And he came us to show us the way and the path. Most people can't see what he was really doing in the regards and how he put a cease and desist order into the system. Pilate knew it, okay? He knew that there was a cease and desist, and that's what really took place. But in the story, law does not sell as good as blood and guts. So they had to, for the church's purpose, they had to bring in more blood and guts into this scenario. Okay? So that's what basically they did with the movie Passion. I mean, that was all blood and guts. And basically, for well over 300 million viewers to see that movie, that's what they went to see. They went to see the blood and guts, the gore. Okay? If they didn't want to know the law, that don't sell. And that's the same way with most of the patriots out here. Okay? They want the blood and guts. Okay? They go for everything but the real truth. And the real truth is hidden in the words. Until you understand what the words themselves mean, you will never understand what you're really saying out here. You're just blowing smoke. And like I said before, words can never hurt you once you understand the words. Sticks and bones can hurt my bones, but words can never hurt me. Remember that old saying? Well, that's the truth. When you understand the words, then you will understand what they're saying in all their codes and everything else, what they're leaving out in their codes. You go to the codes and you're not going to find the truth. Codes are something that they've hidden to deceive you from the real truth. Yes, there may be some bits and pieces there, just like what we found in Title 46 in the Shipping Act. There are certain things there under Chapter 73, under Chapter 573 in there, talking about the age of 25 and different things. But it doesn't tell you one stinking thing of how to get out of the system. It doesn't say anything about the alien property custodian. It doesn't tell you who the accessing ports are to that alien property custodian. But if you go into the law dictionaries, and I don't mean just one of them, and basically I would stay completely away from Bouvier's. Okay, that's the one that basically most of the attorneys try and use, and that one is the fraud. They tried to make out here about 6 to 8 months ago, whatever, bad-mouthing the Black's Law Dictionary, saying that it was the fraud, that it was just a hoax. Law Dictionary. Why? Because it has some good words in it. It has a lot of the Latin phrases in it. Bouvier's doesn't. And they try and badmouth that one. And then it was put out there in a lot of that stuff by the Patriot community. So who is in the Patriot community that's doing this? The deceivers. They're not really patriots. They're trying to mislead you in a lot of this stuff. But once you start looking at the words, and then you go to more than one dictionary and start seeing the similarities or the differences, and then checking out why is this one different than the other one, and then also looking at other sources. The Bible, that is the Old Testament and supposedly the New Testament. Testament is a will. So the old will of America, or not of America, but of the earth, is the Old Testament. And they tried to rewrite a new will, which is a invalid will, because Jesus never came to change the law. He never came to change the will. So the old will still stands. This New Testament will is a fraud. This New Testament will is the one that tried to set the church up as they were the ones that are in control of everything. They're not. You are. They're just a damn corporation. And they can be gone tomorrow. But the living continues. Now, this correlates right with the Matrix movie. The Matrix is the machine. The machine was the Constitution of the United States to make the country function. That's the machine. That's the Matrix. Now, we have Mr. Smith that has come in as a virus into the system that is trying to destroy both the Matrix and the people of Zion in the movie, harming both the nation, the land, and the people. That's the Mr. Smith. Now that, in this country, is the insurance racket. The money changers' insurance racket. You're already insured in this country by the Matrix that is holding the American assets. So you're insured. So what is this second insurance? Well, if you go into the dictionary and you look up some of these words, there's a word called over-insurance. Okay? And over-insurance states this: the existence of insurance upon the same risk in violation of the condition of the policy concerning other insurance unknown to the insurer or obtained without the consent of the insurer. A condition leading to fraud or carelessness on the part of the insured, there being less reason for him to desire the preservation of the property. And that's what's going on in this country. The people...
Chris is on, Patrick.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, that is called over-insurance. Also, over-issue. An issue of bonds by a corporation in excess of the limit placed upon the amount of bonded indebtedness. And they do that too. The courts do this. Mm-hmm. And they operate under, and see, everything out here is in insurance, in their racket, in their system. And it's a racketeering game. Governmental racketeering. Insurance racketeering. Trying to force you to take out a second policy upon the same thing that you're already protected against. And then trying to basically extort money out of you under their extortion racket, using their codes and everything else. You're not going to find the truth in the codes. I can guarantee you that one. They will mislead you and misdirect you away from the truth in every way possible. The dictionaries is the only place that you're going to be able to find the truth as soon as you find out what the words mean and then start putting the words together. And that's what we have to do. That's why I put several of those definitions in there. That's why I put the phrase in there that if you do not understand the words, you contact me and I will explain what they mean. Because some of these people may never have heard these words. Just like in the Men in Black, the third movie. Will Smith sits there and basically says, how come I don't know about this? And Agent L or O says to him, that's above your pay grade. And see, a lot of people out here have been thinking that most of these people know this stuff. No, it's above their pay grade. They don't know. So if you get their ear, you talk it off. You let them know what the real truth is, but you do it in a calm, cool, and correct manner to try and get your point across, to get them to start thinking. And leave it at that. You don't get into a total argument mode unless you know what you're doing. Steve. Okay? So that's what needs to take place. Now, what has happened here this last week? I put this cease and desist order in, the first one-page document, on Wednesday. And I sent it out to most of the people down below on the list, with the exception of the United States Attorney General, the United States court system, and I forget who else I didn't have on there. But anyway, I sent that out. I didn't send one to the Secret Service yet on that. Then I turned around, and the next day I started looking at this, and I went back, and I woke up, and I started looking at some other words here, and I said, wait a minute, I need to beef this up because this is really about insurance. So that's when I started putting all that stuff in about insurance and finding several of the other words like profert, okay, and I had the testimony arbitrator already, but the virus acquire attendo, okay, and basically you can look up the definition of that word or words, okay. It's a phrase. It's a Latin phrase, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want you to look it up. And then you can look up what the word matrix means. And you will see that it really is talking about the Constitution. I told you a couple weeks ago about the CINS numbers, the foreign offshore accounts, using the number on the back of the Social Security card. It's not a Federal Reserve Bank number. When it starts with a letter, it's a foreign QSIP number. And then prodigal, okay? Monster. And the patriot community out here has had that one all messed up for years, saying that basically they're claiming a living human being is a monster. No, that's not what that says. when you look at the definition of monster, okay, a prodigious birth, a human birth or offspring not having the shape of mankind. Oh, wait, right there. If it doesn't have the shape of mankind, then basically it is not a human being. It is not you, which cannot be heir to any land. Well, you can be an heir to land. So this monster is not you. And then when you look up what prodigious means, prodigious, a prodigal, a spendthrift, an extravagant person. Well, prodigal, right there is the key word. And even in the parables that Jesus used about the prodigal son, the spendthrift, the extravagant, the one that took his stuff and ran and left, but he came back. And that's what we have to do, is bring our prodigal son back. But we have to cease his action to bring him home. He only came to show us the way and the path. And he showed us the path if we know what we're looking for. And basically, I proved that out over the last several days. On Wednesday, I sent out the one-page cease and desist order. On Thursday afternoon, I sent out, and you can take this down. So write these down. That the places that I sent them to was I sent them to the Vicar General in New York City. I sent a copy to the Postmaster General. I sent a copy to the U.S. Attorney General. I also sent a copy to the Deputy U.S. Attorney General, care of Foreign Litigation Office. And there is a Foreign Litigation Office in the civil capacity of the Assistant Attorney General. I sent one to the Inspector General of the Treasury. The last time I got a visit from the Secret Service, it was because of a fax that I sent to the Inspector General's office of the Treasury. When I used the words in that fax, right of self-defense. That brought the Secret Service to my door, trying to find out what I was talking about. Well, I didn't have everything quite right at that point in time, but now I do. So I sent it to him too. Now, and also to Judge Alito, the 8th Circuit Court Justice, and also to my chief judge for the 8th Federal District Court of Southern Iowa. Those were the ones I sent out Thursday. Now, Friday morning, I changed the cease and desist order around and took out the Attorney General's office in there and put in the care of U.S. trustees as the front door / U.S. Secret Service as the back door to the office of the alien property custodian. I had submitted a bill of exchange or a one of my instruments here about a month or two ago, a month and a half ago maybe at the most, into the Secret Service. They sent it back to me with a sticky note on it. No letter, just a sticky note. And basically said, this needs to be directed to the correct office. So I didn't know what they meant at the time. But it needed to go to the office of the alien property custodian in care of the Secret Service. They didn't say that they didn't have the proper office under their, that they couldn't access it in the sticky note. They just said it needed to be addressed to the proper office. So, Friday morning, I sent a copy of this latest one to the U.S. trustees here in the state of Iowa, in my district. I also sent it into the U.S. Secret Service here in the state of Iowa, the capital in Des Moines. Then I sent another, I took one of those documents that I had, and I made it an American investor's put to my alien obligor for the ordered settlement, and as what I was putting in was my traffic tickets that they were trying to claim. But I put in there, I allege commercial insurance commerce fraud has been used against this American functionary in that the state required alien license insurance contract that was to pay the tickets and fines has been blockaded. Okay, blockaded is a big word by the commercial bar courts using a hidden insurance alienation clause. Every insurance policy has an alienation clause. Read what it says about the alienation clause. And if you're operating with an alien, then they're going to enforce that alienation clause unless you know what the hell you're talking about. Okay? In order that the commercial bar courts chose to either to settle or deprive the American functionary, and then they can claim the full insurance benefit or split it with the state insurance company. The state is the underwriter or the insurance company for all of these licensed insurance policies. Check it out. One of the biggest departments in the state is the state insurance department. You got more damn accountants working there than you can shake a stick at. But check out the alienation clause. Every contract has it. And then the settlement, the adjusters, and that's all those judges are, they're insurance adjusters. And then the cops are out there as insurance enforcers. They're trying to force you to have a secondary insurance in total violation of the Constitution. And that was one of the key things that was brought out in the court case in 1885. But see, commercial insurance was not brought into this country until the governmental commercial insurance was not brought into this country until 1887. And that's why in a lot of cases, these courts do not recognize some of these case laws that are out there prior to 1950, we'll say. I know I've heard that one before. But anyway, back to the scenario. Saturday morning, I sent this into the put order in, and then after that got in, I got a phone call on my cell phone. Well, I was using the fax machine at my mom's place, okay, and her fax number, so I wasn't using my cell phone. My cell phone number was on the data sheet that was on the fax going in there. But the fax machine can't read that and call back that number. They could call the number that basically the fax came from, but that's about as far as the fax machine itself can do. So some living person had to take my number off the fax and turn around and call it back. But they used the fax machine to call my cell phone. Therefore, there was no living person on the line. It was the machine. It was the matrix calling me. It called me 3 times. No more, no less. 3 times. That was the first time I've ever had that come back, and this was coming from the Secret Service. After I got those 3 calls, I turned around and I sent this copy of the put for the traffic tickets also into the Secret Service to see whether I was going to get another call from that fax machine. No, nothing. I talked to one of the guys down in South Carolina, and he said, you know what just took place? They gave you your 3 X's, your 3 strikes, and you're out. I said, well, that, I guess, corresponds to the 3 crosses on Calvary. So I sat there and hummed, thought about it, well, because I thought, well, maybe they're finally going to come after me for paper terrorism. And they were just notifying me of that. No. The more I thought about it, I said, yep, this guy's right. That was the 3 crosses that I've been looking for. And then today I kept thinking about it, and I said, you know, there was one thing that I forgot to do. I forgot to basically confirm that I would see them in heaven. So I sent them a fax. Sorry for the delayed confirmation to your matrix. 3 concurrences yesterday. But Purgatory has very slow service. I understand and hope to see you soon. Thank you. That's what I sent back to her. So what I did, I turned to the good thief, okay, because all commerce is a form of theft. There's a valid theft, and then there is an invalid theft. And I will go into that in just a second. But I had to send this to them, just like what took place on Calvary. And then I'm in purgatory, so I got my sackcloth on, and I'm waiting. And it takes 3 days. You can look up what the definition of purgatory is. But I'll read you the last part of purgatory in Valentine's Dictionary. In purgatory, the souls are purified and rendered fit to enter into heaven, where nothing defiled enters. That means no false money system can enter into heaven, into the just commerce. You do that, and basically you're going to go back to hell. And see, that's what some people basically has stated, that I've gotten my 3 confirmations. Well, how come you ain't out if that's what you got? Because you have held on to something keeping you in hell or extending your time in purgatory. Until you relinquish that, you're not going to be able to get out of purgatory and get to heaven. You've got to renounce everything in the commercial false system out here. Now, the commercial commerce is totally unjust. It is destructive in more ways than one, okay? Not only are you turning around and buying your own shit back in the form of bonds, by way of basically retirement benefits, turning around and buying up the bonds, or having your assets put over someplace else and then turning around and buying the bonds, doing an SS4 to where you are funding your own salary by the usage of bonds, but it's also causing inflation, making you pay more and more every year. Right now, the average is a 3% gain every year. People ought to start waking up that something's wrong here. Now, regular, straight commerce tries to use a just weights and exchangement system. And that's what the Constitution, the Matrix, tried to set up, was a just weights and measurements. But that is just. It doesn't mean equal. There will never be an equal exchangement, because part of the exchangement on behalf of one of the persons is the satisfaction, and that has a value that compensates for the other part of the value that is missing. But, yes, in all commerce, there is never a total equal exchangement in the value, in the sense of something real here to something real over here. It's something real here and something real plus self-satisfaction as the add-on over here on the other side. You can't go about any of this with revenge in your heart. Okay? If you go about this with any revenge, you are living in the past, and you will never be able to get to the future if you're living in the past. You have to move forward. And if you move forward, you're leaving everything else behind. That's over and done with. That's history. You gain knowledge from history, but you do not take the history with you. You don't live the history. You gain the knowledge to either utilize some of the history or to disregard and avoid the pitfalls that are out there that will crop up as a stated history fact later on. But that's as far as it goes. You can overrule and do an overriding veto of any ordinance out here, because you are the executive a public officer of the executive branch of government. You are a functionary, a elector. You elect the people that are in the corporation. So you've got to be higher than they are. You're the super elective person, the Superman. All these comic books, all these different superheroes, Captain America, all these different things out here, were trying to tell us something. But people didn't see that. They never put the correlation together. How big is this cease and desist order? Well, I think Neil proved it to be pretty powerful in the movie Matrix. It was used 3 times in the movie Matrix. In the end of the first Matrix, Neil held up his hand and he put a cease and desist order out, and he stopped all the bullets, and they all fell to the ground. In the end of the second movie, Matrix movie, he puts up his hands and he stops the machines dead in their tracks. In the third Matrix movie, he confronts the Matrix, and basically they come to a mutual understanding in a cease and desist order, and basically the machines and the people both stand down. Neil goes in and liquidates the virus. He ceases the existence of Mr. Smith. Too bad they can't have a sequence of that, but basically it wouldn't be too long a movie to bring him out on the other side. But when you know what's going on, you don't have to have the sequence movie. Now, you come to the Men in Black, going through the secret door. Most people don't know what that is saying over the secret door. It's in the first movie if you want to go and find out. Okay? But anyway, going in the front door, that's where Agent K and Agent J go in. And I'll get into why it's K and J in a little bit. They go in the front door. But who's coming in the back door? The other employees and the aliens. There, and basically, is that the front door or is that the back door? Well, I say that that's the front door that they're coming in, and the Agent J and K are coming in the back door. That's the secret door. Okay, so they're the Secret Service. And they're there to destroy the aliens when they start infringing and when the people call for their support. They also have their little zapper, too, to basically mind sweep the people from any knowledge of the alien ever being there. And that's what's going to take place in this, at the end of this 3 days in purgatory. They're wiping the slate clean of that alien. Now, why Agent K and Y, Agent J. Well, in the movie National Treasure, the guy that was following Nicolas Cage throughout the movie was an FBI agent. He was a Knights Templar. Okay? So, in the movie Men in Black, Agent K and Agent J is Knights of Justice. And that's brought out because in the third movie they had Agent M in the middle, or Agent O in the middle. Agent M passed away between the second and third movie. So they brought in Agent O. So now you had Knights of Justice. But see, you've got to read between the lines and see some of this stuff. You got to think outside the box. Say, what would make logical sense, as Mr. Spock would say? And that's one of the key things in a lot of this stuff. You have to make it logical. If it ain't logical, it ain't going to work. And that's what basically I've had the problem with most of this stuff out here. In all the different deceptions, basically we go from one place to the other. We thought it seemed logical, but then the more we thought about it, no, that really wasn't that logical. Because if we're using their laws, that is illogical from the get-go. You'll never find logic in using the deceiver's laws. They're not going to have the truth there. They may have bits and pieces of it, but that's as far as it'll go. So you never rely upon any of their codes. You never reference any of their codes. I did not reference one code in this process. You deviate too much from this and you're going to mess it up, okay? Basically, I've got confirmation that this works. So why would you want to screw it up? If something works, but that's the mentality of all the adult population in this whole damn country. If it works, we gotta fuck it up. We gotta find a way to either make it better or destroy it. And that's what's happened in a lot of cases. They try and make it better, and basically they destroy it, and then they walk away from it and say, well, that didn't work, so basically we weren't even close. No, you had something that worked, and you messed it up. It was you that messed it up. Your fault. Take the responsibility. So I would strongly recommend that you people go through and read about insure, from insurable all the way through insurance in the law dictionaries, preferably Ballantyne's or Anderson's. You can support it with Black's Law, but I'd stay away from Bouvier's. Go through any and all words that start with over, O-V-E-R, and read them all. Because this is an insurance game. And a statement of fact. per the commercial and federal state governments. You will have our insurance, or else we will beat you up. And that is better known as governmental racketeering. Okay. Any questions, comments, or anything else? Because I'm probably only going to be around here for another day or so. Come Monday morning, if I don't hear something tomorrow, come Monday morning, I'll probably be out of the system. But I'll be in the background, but I won't be in the foreground in this regards anymore. So it's up to you guys now to carry on the legacy. And the legacy goes back 2,000 years to that guy that started it. I'm just one of his followers. Okay. Open line. Go ahead. Anybody there? Tom.
Hello? Patrick?
Anybody online?
Yeah, you can hear me, Patrick?
Can you hear us?
Okay.
All right. I was muted out. I don't know what happened to Thomas. I'll check on Skype. I'll send him a message.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Is Chris on the line too?
Okay, any questions, comments?
Well, it's pretty much straightforward, Patrick. You're right.
Yeah, and I don't see, I mean, the cease and desist order, and basically that we have the power to put that in. We don't need no stinking clerk of the court or anything else to register this. Okay?
All right.
We are the executive officer from the executive branch of government as a functionary. So we have the power to put out that order because it states it right in the definitions.
It does, and as funny as it sounds, even in the UCC 3-402, it says authorized signature on behalf of represented person.
Yeah.
So,
but you don't want to go there, okay? You reference what the words mean, okay?
Yes.
And see, that says law dictionary.
Yes.
So those words are the law.
Yes.
Words of law.
Okay. Well, when you said it earlier, I was like, you're totally on point because they're acting in a fictitious plaintiff capacity, and when you mentioned Black's Law, it's like, yes, you want to look for certain words, you find it in Black's Law. Like words like fictitious plaintiff, they're making false claim against the living.
Yeah. But I'd use Valentine's and Anderson's primarily, and then support it with Black's Law, okay? Because Black's Law is missing some words in it also, and especially some of the latest versions of Black's Law, they have taken some words out or reworded them in a slightly different way. So be careful of which version of Black's Law you're using too.
Yes.
Check them all out if need be.
Okay. You know what? No reinventing of the wheel. I ain't gonna reinvent the wheel. I'm gonna just follow the steps. Is anybody else here? You sound like everybody's silent.
How many you got on there now, Tom?
14.
Well, basically,
Hey,
I
Patrick.
strongly recommend that you guys get this out, okay? Out to all these other gurus out there and tell them if you want to hear the truth is here, okay? Just take the time to listen to it, okay? But otherwise, we'll know where you stand if you don't want to take the time and read the document and understand what it's saying. But if you want out of the system, this is it.
Yes.
And then basically I did all of this by fax, okay? No hard copies anywhere yet. I did all of this by fax to all of those different offices. And in a lot of cases, the ones I sent out Thursday, I only had one fax cover sheet, and that was the one that I sent to Judge Alito at the Supreme Court. The others, I just took a copy of this cease and desist order and wrote the person's name or the office name at the top of it and then sent that out. I had the fax number and then sent that out. Just like that. It doesn't have to be fancy when it's coming from the living.
Hello?
In fact, you don't want it to be fancy when it comes from the living. You get too fancy, and basically then you're in the very damn system. You're a fancy ass. Operating with frills and all the other garbage.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. Do you have a question?
Yes, Patrick, thank you so much for kind of clarifying some of these things. But I noticed by your signature, there's a seal. Can you, and it's hard to disseminate it from the scan. Could you maybe explain what is supposed to be on that seal?
No, it's whatever you want it to be. It's your seal.
Correct.
Okay? Just like the kings of England and stuff like that, basically they just might have had their initial. Or some picture or some swan or something like that. Whatever you want, it's yours.
Okay. So I can use my family seal on this.
I don't care what it is, okay? That's up to you. It's yours.
Or your fingerprint in red.
Well, if you don't have an embossing seal, then basically you could use that, okay?
Okay.
But otherwise, you use your seal.
Okay.
Your embossing.
Thank you very much, Patrick, for clarifying that.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Did you want to speak to Chris about something? He's still here.
Only if he wants to talk.
Okay.
Or he's got any questions or anything about this.
Or comments.
Can you hear me?
Sure.
Yeah.
Fine.
I think one of the points going back to what you were talking about is when the full faith and credit of the United States actually is converted or embezzled within the states, and if they create a whole other new market, and the overlayering of the insurance would also be noted that the state is doing their own. That's separate from the FDIC and other insurances from AIG that the federal government is doing. So you've got multiple levels of franchises under franchises that are doing the same identical thing over and over again. And that was one of the things I just wanted to mention. There's nothing else.
Okay, but they cannot touch the real assets. That's why it's put into a spendthrift trust. Okay? It is there, okay, in spendthrift trust, a trust created to provide a fraud or a fund for the maintenance of the beneficiary, which shall be secure against his providence and incapacity. A trust which restrains either voluntary or involuntary alienation by the beneficiary of his interest in the trust, or which, in other words, and get this now, bars such interest from seizure in satisfaction of his debts. In other words, they can't touch the real assets held in the trust. So all these patriots out here that have been thinking that they've been taking the real assets out of our trust are dead ass wrong. Our assets are still there. But some of our assets are being held over in their other areas, and that is what needs to be cleaned up in purgatory. We have rents that are due from their usage of our assets. And that's what the Secret Service is taking care of right now, while I'm sitting here in purgatory.
I'm Patrick?
Yeah.
I have one more question I would like to ask you. You know, I'm sitting here, I'm in California, and Chris mentioned the full faith of credit from the United States of America. I actually, on the certificate of live birth that I actually have the full faith and credit from the United States of America placed on the certificate. So my question is, do you think I should just send them back their paper?
No.
Return it back to them?
You wait until they come to you. You just do this cease and desist. I told you. That's all I did. And basically, I got the machine to tell me that basically I was out of the system. Gave me 3 strikes, 3 crucifixions. That's what I've been looking for years.
I call it the Morse code when I heard it.
Crosses.
Yes. Actually, the machine talked to you. The machine talked. I said the machine spoke to you, and I when I heard you said it, I was like, hold on, that sounds like they're talking to you in Morse code, 3 times.
Yeah, the machine was talking to me in machine language.
Yes.
Okay? And basically just giving me a confirmation that I was out of the system. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, you're out.
Yep.
And a strike is an X, and basically an X is a crucifixion, because that's what, even back in the Roman times, in Jesus' time, how you crucified a document, or to cancel a document, you drew a red cross across it.
Yes.
You crucified it. It wasn't the blood and guts crucifixion that was all taking place. Does that make any damn sense whatsoever for people to go out and being crucifying people when they could turn around and make them a slave? No logical sense whatsoever. Why would you kill somebody if you have the capability of being able to use them for your benefit?
It's crazy.
Yeah, just like World War II. Did Hitler kill all the Jews? Or did Eisenhower starve the Jews to death later on? It was Eisenhower that killed the vast majority of them through starvation.
Wow.
Operation Keelhaul.
Yes, if you really want to know the truth. But see, most people don't want to hear the truth. They want to think that it was all Hitler. Hitler was using them as an asset, as a source to basically drive his machinery for production purposes. He was also using their assets in the process, but he wasn't going to kill them off. Hell, they had truck gardens and everything else in those damn places, in those concentration camps, to raise the food for the people. But you don't hear all that stuff unless you go to some outside sources and find out some real truth, and that's where you can get on the torrent engines and start finding out some other truth out there rather than the mainstream bullshit. Yeah, you listen too much to the mainstream bullshit, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get bullshit. You're not going to get the truth. 40 years, some of these patriots have been out here doing the same damn thing over and over again. You'd think they get tired of that shit and start looking somewhere else. Okay, I've ranted and raved enough. Any more questions?
Patrick, if I may, so going forward after your crucifixion, so pretty much everything's going to be, you said, set off?
Everything's going to be what?
Set off.
Everything is going to be cleaned up. All the fraudulent contracts and insurance contracts are going to be brought to a closure. I have ceased all actions from my alien. He's now dead. And basically that was one of the items in that cease and desist order that was sort of missed, okay? Mors omnia solvet, okay? Death dissolves all things. And when you basically, by the order of cease to be dead, so you are ceasing all of your prodigal Bailey's actions. He is now dead, so now his death dissolves all things that are affixed to him. And they have to be liquidated and then cleaned up and returned to you in heaven. And then you can come out of purgatory. But you mess up and you're going to go back to purgatory, and you may go straight to hell. Because that is the way the game is played. So you had best know that you do not get involved anymore in commercial commerce, commercial insurance commerce, or any commercial bondage commerce. Because you get involved in there, and basically they will take you down. And they will take you down big time.
And they'll probably do their damnedest to trick you into doing something wrong.
Yes.
So can I assume that once we get to purgatory, that we need to make sure that we close any outstanding
you will be closing everything down when they come and see you, okay? They will be picking up everything else from you.
Okay.
Basically, that Secret Service is over the Enterprise Financial Management System. They have access to every damn bank account, whatever, credit card, passport number, anything that your account has out there. They have that in their system.
Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you could take a look at that from the U.S. Marshals in the Witness Protection Program. They can go into the computer database and wipe anybody completely out of the system. And to do that, they have to be able to access all the credit cards, everything. So that is in the computer database.
That's correct. That's true. So when you get to heaven, make sure you send us a dove.
Well, basically, I've told you where I'm going. Now you guys got to follow, okay? I don't have to come back out of heaven and talk to you guys.
Oh, we got to go to heaven. Go to heaven.
Yeah,
and
you got to get to heaven, and then you can communicate with me.
Yes.
Okay.
Amen.
Okay. That's how the game's played. Because if I get to heaven and then basically I start communicating with everybody, you guys are just going to rely upon me. No. I got to force you to get out of there. So I'm not going to talk to you anymore. You got to come now and talk to me. And the only way you're going to be able to come and talk to me is if you get to heaven too. Because I'm going to be on the heaven phone, not on the purgatory phone or on the public phone. Okay?
Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Patrick.
Okay.
Thank you too, Patrick.
Okay. Anybody else? I hope there's a few more that strike out this week.
Yes, I'll be preparing I have all the faxes ready to be prepared, so I will have them send them out Monday morning.
And you got to stay in honor in this process.
Right.
And basically go over the people that I said that I sent to on Thursday.
Yes.
I'll reiterate that again. I sent it to my Circuit Court Supreme Justice for the Circuit Court that I'm in, the 8th Circuit, and that was Judge Alito, or Justice Alito. I sent it to the Vicar General at New York. Okay? A copy there. I sent it to the Postmaster General. I sent it to the Attorney General. I sent it to the Assistant Attorney General in care of the Office of Foreign Litigation, because see, we're dealing with an alien, so it's going to be in a foreign litigation. Okay, and then also I sent it to the Inspector General of the Treasury Department. And why him? Because basically the last time Secret Service visited me was because I put in a statement in there saying about self-defense. And basically he contacted the Secret Service, and they came out and wanted clarification of what I meant by self-defense. And I showed them that I was staying in honor in the whole process. That I would have the right of self-defense if need be. And then the other one was to the chief judge for the federal district court that I was in. And then Saturday morning I sent it into the Secret Service and to the U.S. trustees, as they are the front door and the back door to the Office of Alien Property Custodian, which is where our spendthrift, our alienation spendthrift trusts are being held.
Patrick,
Okay.
For the assistant AG, is there a separate fax number for him? I couldn't find
No,
that.
I just sent it to the one that I had for the Attorney General. And
okay.
basically I just addressed it to that assistant and then also for that office.
Yeah, that's what I was going to plan
let
to
the
do.
people in there sort it out.
Okay.
Okay?
I was going to do that unless there was a separate fax available.
No, as far as I could find, there was none and basically I didn't call up the phone number. There's a phone number you can call there and see if they do have a fax number, but I didn't call it. I just sent it there and said, here, you find where it's at.
They weren't there over the weekend. Yeah, it's a 2000 number. I may try that. I may not.
Well, the Attorney General's office will receive things over the weekend. Secret Service will receive things over the weekend. U.S. trustees, almost all of these offices will receive things over the weekend. Even your state, and don't hesitate to send it out to your state county judges, your clerk of the court for the county, the sheriff for the county, the police chief, or whatever for the county that you're living in. Put them on notice. If you want to, send it to the newspapers. Post it on the internet. Okay? You let them know. Then basically now you have it documented that you have a cease and desist order in place. Now they are forced to stand down.
This is
add the county trustees to that list also.
If you want to, yeah. Your state attorney general, your state treasurer, your governor, your secretary of state, the Department of Transportation, the commissioner of the insurance for the state. You can send it to all these damn places if you want to. The more the better. Because every time you send this out, especially the way I have it written up, what was the last thing that I said on there?
in peace and honor. And right before that, you said they can do it for themselves.
That's it. You too can once again be a truly free American operating in just American commerce and exchange per the American laws. Just destroy your commercial insurance virus and return in peace to the original matrix, the United States of America Constitution.
I really like that.
See, the more people you start informing with this, basically, the more people you might get to start thinking for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of believing what they've been told all their life. There's a whole bunch of people out there that are waiting, knowing that there's something wrong, but they don't know what to look for. You have now given them something to look forward to when you send this to them.
Well, I get myself out first so that I know what I'm doing, and then I'm in a better position to help them.
Stop trying to say that, Tom. You just send this out. Is what I'm saying. When you send this document out, that will be the help that they need.
That's true.
Those government people, okay? The other people that you need, basically, you just give them a copy of this document too, and you give them the audio.
Right.
They're on their own, okay? You don't have to help them anymore, okay? If they're not big enough, then they're not worth saving. You shake the sand off your sandals and leave. If you have to waste too much of your time trying to argue with them about it, it's not worth it. They're going to drag you back down. Destroy your energy. I don't know how this could be made any simpler. And then it's supported by all the damn movies that I just referenced. National Treasure, The Men in Black, The Matrix, and numerous other movies out there. In this whole scenario, The Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, numerous movies throughout the 30s, The Devil and Daniel Webster. Basically, that was an insurance racket. And then you had the Court of the Dead sitting there. And then all the alien movies out there with Sigourney Weaver in them. All the Walking Dead, the ones to where like Now You See Me, Interstate 60. All of these different movies have been trying to lead us all to the same scenario. Okay, any other questions, comments?
Yeah, Patrick, I have one more, if I may. Because one of the statements you said that you cannot go back in commerce. So if there's an asset attached to that name that's being used in commerce now, does that have to be assigned to the United States, or is the Secret Service going to take care of that? For example, if you owned a house...
Wait. Let's stop right there, okay? You're using the word commerce. You have to be able to operate in commerce. You know what you're doing right now? You're operating in commerce with me. Commerce is a give and take scenario.
Correct.
Okay? So you have to be able to operate in commerce. Commercial commerce, no. That is all going to be brought to a closure. So all of these certificates and titles and credit cards and bank accounts and everything else that are out here are going to be closed down. You will operate with just currency of exchange per the matrix, per the laws of the matrix of just weights and exchangement. Correct. You will have access to your account within the Treasury to draw the funds out when you need them, if you decide to put them back into the Treasury. Otherwise, you will have them in your backyard, wherever, and basically, you may not want to do that, okay? Depending on big these are, you'd be better off basically putting them back in the Treasury and having them put some of this Federal Reserve dollars out there. But these Federal Reserve dollars that they issue out in this regard will be asset-backed. That means that those serial numbers on those Federal Reserve dollars will be monitored, and basically if they get old or worn down, as is brought out in the movie Mad Money about this Kansas City Federal Reserve Bank that was taking old money and trying to destroy it, okay? If it's asset-backed, it has to be replaced with a new one with the same serial number. Because it's an asset. It's not a commercial instrument that only has a life expectancy of 3 years. And see, that's the life expectancy of all of the Federal Reserve dollars that are insurance-backed because of the bonds that are backing them. And when the bonds have to go away, and that's what, if you go into the office of the comptroller of the currency, those bonds have to be settled at the end of 3 years. So all those Federal Reserve dollars that were issued for those bonds have to be brought to closure too, because they do not have a bonding any longer. And in a lot of cases, they roll the things over and get a new bondage in the process, using trade acceptances and bank acceptances to basically generate more Federal Reserve dollars into the system to replace the ones that are coming out of the system. That's the biggest fallacy that basically is out here in the Patriot community and in most of the damn guru community, is that they do not understand the monetary system. They think they do, but they really don't. They don't understand puts and calls, how they're operated. They don't understand what a bond is. They think they know what a bond is, but basically there's many different definitions of a bond. So that's about all I got to say on that subject for right now. Okay, any other questions?
Looks like
If not, Tom, let's call tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. This was a very good summary.
Okay, you guys take care. I'll see you down the road.
We'll get to work and spread this around.
Okay.